Tropical grow. I thought I would open up this video since I'm already dressed for work. I'm heading out to a client soon, but I wanted to let you know that this video was a labor of love. It took me so long to go through not only this book that I have, I've put this together way in the early 90s, if not in the late 80s, because I've been collecting and saving all of my little markers from plants. I wish I had all of them. And I also have like my little garden sketches, and then I have inspiration photos. So I went through this to figure out what I had in my garden because I no longer have them marked. And then I also have these two books, New England Gardening Almanac and the new, let me see, what is this? The New Complete Guide to Gardening. So I also was able to go through these and confirm a lot of my plants. And I also use a app on my phone, which I have to say is really, really good. I've tried Leaf Snap. It was okay, but this is called Picture This. This is not sponsored. It has been pretty spot on for most of the plants. I've had to go in a couple times and do like a separate video or a separate photo because so many plants, as you're going to see in this video, look alike. And doing this research, how many plants can be called Bluebell? You're going to see a lot. So they have their Latin names, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I'm going to just say the name that I go by and what are very well known to others, and just to, so that you can maybe look them up on your own, and if you like it, you can do a little bit more of your own research. Now, also keep in mind, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in the northwestern area, so my zone is going to be different than yours. I was reading some of them liked full sun in some areas, like here, but if you have hot, full sun out in the west, you might do a different planting. So do your own research on that as well for plants that you see that I might have if you can grow them. All right, so let me show you what I have in my gardens or some of my past gardens. I tried to go through old videos, old photos. Like I said, this was a labor of love. So sit back, enjoy, and let me know your thoughts below if you'd like me to do more videos like this. All right, so let's go. At the request of one of our kindred spirits, I was asked to share some of the blue and purple flowers that I have in my garden. Now, this particular garden is one that I'm touring in Salem, Mass, but I thought I would pull together photos and videos of flowers in my garden at my current home and a couple of my past homes. Here we have some Grape Hyacinth. They make beautiful ground cover, but when I first brought these home, I did put them in the urns by my front door just for a little pop of color. I did plant them, and they are now in front of the fence in front of our house. Now here we have some Lungwort, and what is really cool about this is that early herbalists used to cure, or used to think they were curing, lung diseases with this because the leaves are shaped like lungs and the spots were supposed to be disease. It is so wonderful that things have changed. And here we have some vinca. I used to actually dig vinca up when I was a little girl and bring it in my bedroom just as spring started to arrive. So this flower has been very important to me for a long time. And salvia, this plant, really the vibrant color that goes from spring through summer. I've had it in front of fences and I use it a lot in borders, and it just looks really beautiful. Now this giant chive, it is a giant chive. It's huge in my garden. I cut it down and it keeps coming back. But what I love is that the blossoms, you can pull these apart and just sprinkle the blossom flowers on a salad, or you can garnish the salad with that. But it is very strong. It's very much like onion, so use it sparingly. Unlike the creeping phlox you would see going along the ground, these are tall phlox. I have them in light purple, pink, and white. Now, I didn't realize I kept buying different types of Speedwell. I just kept going for the color. This almost looks like a forget-me-not, but this is the Georgian Blue Speedwell. And then there's the Veronica Blue Speedwell. This has a longer spike to it, and it has jagged edges on the leaf versus the other had a smooth one. So once again, I loved the color of these, and I also used them in my wedding flower baskets, which I will link that below. And then we have another one. Is it Germander? Germander? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I told you I would not do well with these. But it's supposed to be partial to full shade, and mine's in full sun, but it still seems to be doing okay, but I might transplant it. And the Viper's Bug Loss. And then the Columbine. This is so beautiful, and I had a little treat because when I bought this candy tuft, the white flowers, the Columbine grew inside, so it must have been a seed or a seedling, and so I got this little gift. Now we have Jacob's Ladder. It's named because of the leaves represent a little ladder, and slowly you'll start seeing little tiny blue flowers along the top. So right now, this is May, and this is what the plants look like. Last year I took a video, but we had a heavy rain and a lot of the flowers washed away. So I did find a photo of the plant from my last house, which I actually brought these from my last home, so you can see how beautiful and full they are. I have several types of squill here at the property. These are Siberian squill or wood squill, and bachelor's buttons. I loved the story about this. It used to be said that bachelors would wear this flower in their lapel when they were dating somebody or courting somebody. If the flower lasted a long time, that relationship was meant to be. But if the flower died in his lapel while he was courting her, it was over. He wouldn't date her anymore. Now, I did include pansies, but they are an annual. But the reason I included them is for the past couple of years, I've had my purple pansies come back. Now, this is from last year, but I do have pansies from this grouping that are back. So I'm just going to add them to the list and see if you have luck. Let me know. Now, also outside, we have violets, and they're all over the yard. And every year I like to collect the violets and make my simple syrup or also small bouquets. I also have some regular hyacinths here in the yard. Each Easter I usually get a basket of flowers, and once Easter's over I cut them down once they're spent and I plant the bulbs, and they come back each year. Now I'm going to show you some purple lilac, but first, if you're short like me, sometimes collecting lilac can be a challenge. Now here are two little fun facts. Lilacs were brought here to the New World by the settlers. And if you have an old house with an old lilac bush, or you see a lilac bush in a field in a random location, many times settlers used to plant lilacs by their outhouse for the smell, if you get my drift. Each summer on our side porch, the Clematis grows. This one I believe is called the President. And once again, the pronunciation, Clematis, Clematis, like potato, potato. I don't know. Now here we have some catmint. I had this at my last house. I don't have any here at my current home. I've seen some very large plants out and about. I don't know if it's a different variety, but mine never got that large. And each year I have morning glory that shows up on our arbor. And I remember this as a child. My mother and I planted them along a wall, and I just loved going down and watching them or seeing them open and then close at night. This beautiful one I saw at a nursery, but they didn't have any for sale. Here I have some Spanish Bluebell or Spanish Squill, and the flowers on this one are tipping downward and the leaves are long and thin. Now maybe you can help me out with this one, because on the other side of the driveway, we have this that also shows up as Spanish Squill, but the leaves are thicker and a little waxier in look, and the flowers are tipped outward or upward. I wasn't sure if they were the same or not, but my app said they were. Just look at this color of the Delphinium, which is also known as candle larkspur or bee larkspur. And keep in mind, a lot of these plants have a lot more names. I'm just giving you a few. And then I also have a light blue one, but they haven't done that well for me each year, but they are coming back. Lupine, oh boy, do I love lupine. They actually, to me, smell a little bit like grape, and they used to grow wild everywhere around us at our house in Maine. I could have bought some recently, but knowing that they're wild, I just couldn't purchase some, maybe in the future. And then here's my lavender. This particular one is English lavender. I get to cut it down and it does come back for a second cutting. And then I also planted some Provence lavender last year, and this year it's already nice and big. Hopefully I'll be able to cut from that this year as well. Now I threw this in here because you will see there is touches of purple in it. This is a wild bleeding heart or turkey corn or fringed bleeding heart. I get the two names, but I don't understand the turkey corn. Anyone? Anyone? No, I don't. But I thought this was very pretty. Like I said, I put it in because you're going to see just a touch of purple. Every home I've had has had irises of all colors, shapes, sizes, and heights. Now this particular one kept coming up as a bearded iris on my app that I use with the picture this, but these are very short, so I'm not sure if there's a mini version because I also got bearded iris for some of the others that I'm going to show you as well. One of my all-time favorites is the Siberian Iris. I buy these and add them every home I go to. I love how they're dainty and very feminine, but yet they're so strong and vibrant. It just has a nice juxtaposition between the two things. And here we have some spiderwort or spider lily or lady's tears. I've had some of my landscapers and a couple of friends say that this is a weed and they pull it. I'm sorry, I like it, it's pretty, it stays. But do know that a lot of the flowers I've shown you are invasive, they are toxic to animals, and there's some that I even got rid of because I was reading how toxic they were from the previous owner, and then I'm like, okay, I'm planting toxic ones too. So if you have puppies or animals that like to play with your plants and chew on them, or even children, keep that in mind when you're planting. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let me know some of the videos you'd like to see. I got some amazing ideas last week and I have some plans for you. Bye now.